Sound healing is an ancient healing modality used to elevate frequency into states of healing and higher consciousness. Today, I'm going to talk about some keynotes in relation to sound healing. First, did you know that bees naturally resonate at 432 hertz? 432 is a connection between nature and frequency. If you're to compare and see the somatical pattern of 432, you will see a coherent, clean, aligned pattern. If you detune 432 to 440 hertz, which is the standard tuning all around the world right now, on radio, on all the songs you're hearing on streaming services, in instrumentations, in the software used to make music, this is all automatically tuned at 440 hertz. 440 hertz is a disharmonic pattern when it's showed somatically. It's distorted, it's disoriented, and this in turn distorts our frequency as our blood is liquid. So every time frequency hits the liquid, it's creating these patterns in us. Knowing this, we can use frequency to raise our vibrations, to raise collective consciousness, and to improve the state of the world. Frequencies have the ability to heal tumors. They also have the ability to create cancer. Frequencies can create earthquakes. Today on YouTube, there are many sound healers. And if you just put sound healing on YouTube and you go down the list, the majority of sound healers are using bowls and other instruments tuned at 440 hertz. It's like trying to heal with Coca-Cola. That's the best example that I can honestly give. It's novice, they don't yet understand what they're doing, but they're excited and they're trying it out. So, I think it's important to let them know. And if we see them, educate them on frequencies, and they absolutely have to get their bowls at a baseline of 432. They can also get bowls at 528, which is another phenomenal frequency. This frequency is where the whales and dolphins communicate at. This frequency is also a vibrational match to pure, undiluted love, a frequency that is in coherence with healing DNA strands. 528 is also a solfeggio tone. Solfeggio tones are what the Gregorian chants used. This is ancient Egyptian knowledge. So it's coming back online, but I'm seeing it come back online in a very novice form. As children are awakening for the first time in thousands of years of being in darkness. But on the journey to awakening, they're making errors. They're using low quality, out of proper frequency bowls. And then they're also not, for example, meditating or conducting their own spiritual disciplines to be able to hold the frequency, ground it, and then emit it to the listeners. So, what can they do? First, I would get high quality bowls. The majority of bowls that we're seeing used are white frosted. They're mechanically made by machines, and they are the cheapest on the market. I see it in sound healing ceremonies. The proper bowls to use are those that are man-made and with crystal quartz. These bowls cost more money, but because they're a much higher quality, the frequency emitted is totally different. And this is merged with titanium, which also brings into account other energetic signatures to the sound. When you combine bowls with crystals and you infuse them together, it gives the crystal a voice. So not only can you feel it, but you can also vibrationally hear it. That allows the crystal to infuse itself into your biofield in a much more penetrative way. So this is C root in 432 hertz. I'm making the sound wave. And it just keeps going and going and going. You see, that was just one time. I'm holding it, it's connecting to me. And it's just immediately, it's like a beautiful sound bath. Frequency is so impactful. So, yes, I would recommend to improve the quality of your bowls and set yourself a standard of 432. Never go back to 440. Also, if you're a DJ playing in conscious communities, it would be so appropriate if you were to retune your stems to 432 or 528. There's an app called Audacity, and you'll be able to change the stems for free on there. Now, I want to talk about the pyramids of Giza. These pyramids were energy devices and still are. However, Egypt has been occupied, it's overtaken. That's a long story. They knew how to hone in frequencies to basically create a grid. And so when Egypt was in the golden age of enlightenment and in its prime, these pyramids were actually emitting frequencies of higher consciousness that was holding the grid in a state of enlightenment. Now we have the opposite taking place, where the satanic powers that be are emitting their frequencies from all of these freaking cell phone towers everywhere. And with their 2.4 Wi-Fi gigahertz, they're emitting frequency, and that's how they're holding and locking down the grid of consciousness. So frequency has been used in two different ages in two different ways. Let's bridge it back to the way geared towards evolution and higher consciousness. Being in proximity to these pyramids had the effect on a human body to where if the individual was getting out of alignment, was devolving, it would actually be pretty hard to go on a downward spiral. The frequency being held was so strong and potent that it would naturally want to reattune one into a higher state of consciousness. This was the beauty of Egypt and what is so misunderstood. Egypt also spanned way farther back than what we're told in our history books. I really love playing with frequencies that are a part of the solfeggio group. 528 is incredibly special. Immediately when I started playing it, it had such a profound effect on me and my consciousness. It was difficult at first. I was not comfortable with this frequency. It was like agitating because I had never been exposed to it, and it is very high vibrational. So it might be agitating. Once I acclimatized myself to it, it was just purely angelic and ethereal and so enlightening. And it's activated with water.